Hello, I'm Kelly Jorgensen, and today I'm going to be talking about classically conditioning my golden retriever, Bella. She is right here. So basically, I'm going to try and see if Bella will expect a treat every time she hears the iPhone marimba ringtone. So usually, as soon as she sees me just holding a treat, she will immediately walk over to me and beg for it until I give it to her. So the unconditioned stimulus is me holding the treat. And then the unconditioned response is her walking over to me and begging for it. And she's now begging for attention. So then the conditioned stimulus is the marimba ringtone. And hopefully, so what I will be doing is I will play the ringtone and then hold the treat so that she gets used to the ringtone, and then when she sees the treat, she will come over to me and beg for it. However, hopefully, once the association with the marimba ringtone and me holding the treat comes together, I can only play the ringtone, and then that will immediately make her want to walk over to me and beg for the treat. So that will be the associations I am attempting. So the unconditioned stimulus will be the holding of the treat, and the unconditioned response will be her walking over and begging for it. And then the conditioned stimulus will be the marimba ringtone, with the conditioned response being her coming over and begging for the treat. The review of the informed consent includes that any risks that may happen will be, maybe she'll get frustrated and bite me, although she's never bitten me before. She may scratch and paw at me like she's doing right now in order to get the treat. And obviously she's a very crazy dog. She may get very confused, so there's the potential risk of her being confused. I have the informed consent right here, in which Bella's, she just sighed, Bella's legal owner, my stepmom, signed off on it, and she is giving Bella permission to be a part of this classical conditioning experience. And the risks are listed on it. Bella can be withdrawn from the experiment whenever my stepmom believes that she should. She has that total right, and I will make sure that the results stay as confidential as possible in regarding my stepmom. So yeah. This experiment I'm also doing is an example of higher order, or also known as second order conditioning, because I'm adding a second stimulus to get a certain reaction. So basically, Bella already knows and has associated that when she receives a treat, she is being a good girl, she's being a good dog. She believes she is being rewarded and should continue doing what she's doing in order to get the reward. And that's also kind of a form of operant conditioning, but at the same time, now that I'm adding a second stimulus, which is the marimba ringtone, it changes the equation. So originally, seeing the treat would get the reaction, oh, I'm being a good girl. But now that you're adding the ringtone, hopefully by the end of this, once she hears the ringtone and then associates it with the treat, the ringtone becomes the conditioned stimulus, while the treat becomes the unconditioned stimulus, because you could say that the ringtone took over for a sec, but originally, when she was growing up and started receiving treats, it was acting as a conditioned stimulus, because she had to eventually learn that getting the treat meant she was being a good girl. So now that I'm adding the ringtone and the treat, she believes that the ringtone plus treat equals being a good girl. So now that there's a second stimulus, again, the treat kind of basically is now starting to act like the unconditioned stimulus in the equation, and it is an example of second order or higher order conditioning. So right now I'm going to be recording how the unconditioned stimulus equals the unconditioned response. So I'm going to just present Bella the visual of me holding the treat and basically just the treat in general, and then her unconditioned response will be her just coming over to me naturally and waiting and begging for it. So for this next clip, I will be pairing the conditioned association. So I will be giving Bella the treat along with playing the marimba ringtone as I'm doing it. So hopefully after a few times doing that, she will be able to make the connection and association. So that was the first attempt at establishing the association, and now I'm going to do it 2 more times, and then hopefully maybe after that she'll have already learned that the sound of the ringtone will mean she'll be getting a treat. But if not, then I will continue trying until the association is established. So it seems that the 4th time was a charm, but I'm going to try it again just from another room to make sure that she comes in to the sound of the ringtone. So that time, I played the ringtone and she came over, but I did not give her the treat. So hopefully, after I do this a few times, she will learn that I will not be giving her the treat. So basically, I'm going to try and extinguish the behavior, and then afterwards, I'm going to try and attempt spontaneous recovery to see if after not some time of doing it so far, she will eventually recover and then learn to associate them again. So basically, that time she looked at me expecting something, but at the same time, she did not attempt to get up and come over to me and expect the treat. And my brother, who was over there, just told me that she kind of looked at me, sighed, and then just like put her head down, not even trying to get up. Because so she wasn't really expecting me to give her one, because if she were, she would have definitely gone up and come to me if she had seen the treat. So now I'm going to wait at least 10 minutes to see if there is any spontaneous recovery. See if she will come to me when she hears the ringtone, even after I have already extinguished the behavior.
11 minutes later.
So at this point in time, I tried spontaneous recovery. I waited 11 minutes until I tried to play the ringtone again to see if she would come to me. Maybe after some time she was like, ooh, I'll get the treat. But she didn't bother. She just glared at me. she's kind of mad, I think, a bit confused, but she no longer conditions the sound of the marimba ringtone to getting a treat. So, and I feel bad, so there. All right, so that was me classically conditioning Bella.